congratulations on the new album.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about the release?
Very excited. I feel very grateful and very like fulfilled that, you know, it's here for like the world to finally consume. And the last like 2 years have been such like a great time in my life to be able to like really be intentional, I guess, with what I wanted to put on my debut album. So yeah, I'm just very excited that people are getting to take it in.
Were there any particular influences or inspirations for this album?
I would say ever since ever since I created Hello, I started to think more about vocal layering, and so I started to listen to a lot of like Brandy, to be honest, like even more than I was before. And I really do enjoy how she does like her vocal layering and her harmonies and just like making everything really feel like floaty in a vibe. So I felt like incorporating that in a lot of the songs on the album was like super important, and it's just came authentic to me because I also enjoy harmonies. So I'd say, yeah, that was like one big influence. Another influence for the album was really just like life in general. I feel like there's so many different pieces of my life that are in these songs that are on the project. Songs about like love and grief and growth especially, which is like something that I think is so important. I feel like overall Falling Into Place really is just about like my growth as an artist in these like 4 years so far in my career. So yeah.
What would you say the most challenging and rewarding parts of your project have been so far?
Mm. The most challenging would have to be, I think, knowing when to kind of like leave the song alone and be like, okay, this version is fine. I think sometimes I do like go back into the studio and I'll nitpick and be like, oh, this vocal didn't sound too good. And then the producer will play it back or the engineer will play it back and be like, this is actually fine. So I think it's just like me learning to get out of my head and stop overthinking everything that I'm putting down and just let it be. And and then on the opposite side, the thing I enjoyed the most was probably the traveling that I did in like the last like 2 years that allowed me to be able to be inspired to create some of these songs. So a lot of these songs were made outside of Canada, which is really dope because it's not every day you really get to like travel to like LA or the UK or, you know, create music down there often. So being able to do things like that also really helped keep me inspired, and also just kept reminding me that life is so much bigger than like the four walls that you're in on a daily basis. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that yeah, it just reminds me that life is so much bigger than you see it as. Yeah.
So looking ahead, what
hmm
are you most looking forward to for fans to experience when
mm
listening to your album?
I'm looking forward for them to find another song to also like connect to. I feel like there's this relatability in my music, which is really good because I want people to feel like when they listen to this song and they think about their own situations, it's like they can see themselves in my music and in these like words. So I hope that that relatability is still there as well, and that the stuff that I'm singing about, even if they don't relate to it, maybe if they even just understand it and just vibe and connect with just the feeling and the emotions. I think if anything, it's just that connection, you know?
Mhm.
Um, yeah. And I feel like they're going to find some new vibes too. If they haven't listened to, like something with a bit of like not dance hall, but more like Jamaican influence, cause I'm also like Jamaican. I feel like hearing those type of like island feels and getting familiar with that would also be really, really nice. So yeah.
So would you say there's more, as you said, island feels in this album compared to previous?
Um, yeah, there's like a couple of tracks that, definitely you can tell are like influenced like by my background.
Mhm.
And then there's also songs that are very just like R&B heavy and not like a mix between like
Yeah.
multiple genres. It's just like strictly R&B, which is dope because I've always wanted to get to that point where I could just be like, okay, no, this is like actually R&B, you know? Yeah.
So what's next?
Festivals. I'm doing the Great Escape Festival, which is really exciting. And so I can't wait to perform again in the UK. And I'm also doing Oshiega, which is also exciting.
Right.
That's a huge festival out here in Canada. So yeah, I feel like a lot of live shows, more merch, Um, yeah, I think just so many big things ahead. And obviously the biggest thing of all is just being able to finally sing all these new songs live to people. And, yeah, just like refresh my set list. I've been so excited about that.
Mhm.
Cause like, you know, I've been singing a lot of like my older music, which is fine. I still love it, but it's just like, it's different because when you're an artist and you know you have all this like
Mhm.
awesome stuff that's just waiting and it's like you've been singing the like previous stuff that you've had that's a lot older. It's like, oh man. But I'm glad it's like finally time for me to be able to enjoy and just like flesh those out with the band and, you know, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man.
So tell me a bit about yourself. What's your story up until
Mm.
now?
Mm. Well, I started singing and songwriting in like the fifth grade. Sung at like a talent show, and my mom loved the song because it was about her. And from since then, I kind of just really connected with just having that moment where I could make somebody else feel good with my words and with my music,
Mhm.
I guess. So I started songwriting, yeah, from like grade 5 and upwards and onwards. I started doing covers on YouTube in grade 6. There was a really cool moment where Alessia Cara, when she had her breakout track here, like, I
Mhm.
did like a cover of that on YouTube and it had such small views. Like I did not think that she would even see it, but she saw it. And it's just little moments like those, where, you know, when artists like take their time out of their day to like look at somebody's cover or comment. And, you know, she sent me a message on Instagram at the time just telling me how she's like, keep going. Like, I love this. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. I was in the bathroom singing. So I just, you know, but you never know who's going to see your
Mhm.
stuff. But, you know, it's good to just post anyway. So since then, like that kind of also motivated me to be like, I'm just going to post and just enjoy myself. So any video platform, like I was on it singing, like Vine, Keek, um, Twitter, you know, Twitter still obviously like has
Yeah.
video stuff too. But, yeah, I remember when I posted in 2016 and that was like my last year of high school and I had gone viral for like a mashup that I did of like a song by Rihanna and Party Next Door and like Bryson Tiller and I just like merged all three on Egyptian beat and yeah, that was my first time like of the taste of like virality and it was
Mhm.
interesting because you know it has its upsides and its downsides, but I would say it was good that I was able to kind of just like build this world around myself where I'm like, I'm just doing me and I'm just having fun. So then I also discovered SoundCloud and I started uploading
Mhm.
music onto there, which is so much fun. But all of it's so rough and I'm not even exaggerating. Like I would hold up my whole old like MacBook and sing into the mic and use my brother's gaming headset so I could hear myself. And I used to overuse that monster vocal effect on like pretty much like not all my vocals, but a lot of them sounded kind of scary. And I would do a little harmonies and stuff, and then I would mix, master, and record. It was just really just me like lowering the volume on a lot of
Mhm.
things, and then like upping the volume, and then bounce the file and be like, okay, this is a song. And yeah, and then I would post it, and my friends would comment and just enjoy. And I had my own little world there where I would just share stuff just to share it. And then I started discovering YouTube and how there's like beats on YouTube, and just
Mhm.
started songwriting with that, and just enjoying myself. And then eventually in 2020 of April, everybody was like laid off of work during that time. And I decided, I was like, well, I'm going to join TikTok and just, you know, have fun with it. So I was doing my little makeup thing on there. And then after a while, I was like, okay, let me try the singing thing and just, you know, see where that goes. And funny enough, I actually sung Alessia Cara Here Again. And then that was the first video that went viral. I don't know what it is with that one, but that one people like to hear.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, hey, that's good. So then I was just telling myself, okay, I'm just gonna sing whenever I feel like it. I'll just pick up the phone, turn on YouTube karaoke, and just sing. And that's essentially what I did. And from April to November in that year, I grew a really big following of over like 400,000 followers of just people that were just genuinely just vibing out with me and just enjoying seeing me just in the moment, just singing. And it was at the end of the month in November when I found a cool like beat on YouTube by P Dub, the producer, and Thomas Krager. And I sung like just like a funny little video singing about like a bob wig and saying like it's the bob for me and then posting it. But I actually wasn't gonna post it because I was like, this is very unserious. And but I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. And I posted it and I locked my phone And I vividly remember myself in the kitchen making some noodles, and my phone just like would not stop pinging. And I'm like, what is going on? Because the last time I went viral was in 2016. So I was actually a bit scared. So I was like, oh my God, like what is going on? And people were like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to use this sound. And then sure enough, like hundreds of thousands. And then it turned into like millions of people using that sound. And then people are then asking me to make a full song. And that's when I sat and thought, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to sing about a wig for like 3 minutes. That's even more unserious. So I thought, I could talk about the vibe, the vibe you carry when you walk into a room, your presence, self-love, stuff like that. And the day after Christmas, I wrote a song to the beat, and I let them know. I was like, hey guys, I found their emails, I think, and I hit them up just like an email or an Instagram, one of the two. And I told them, I said, you guys' beat is going viral, because I did like a random song to it. And I was like, are you guys down? Maybe we could post it and release it. How do we go about this? Because I've never done that before. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's split it 3 ways. And then they told me what side I could use. And then since then, it was just like upwards, onwards, because like, labels and everything reached out. And then I went with Sony, and I'm really glad I did, because Sony Canada has been really dope, and they're like a very good team. I'm very glad that I went with them. So yeah.
It's really inspiring that it all came from the love of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any early inspirations to your sound? Obviously coming from Toronto, massive music scene, and then also Jamaica itself. Yeah,
well, as a kid, my mom played a lot of Whitney Houston, actually, and Alicia Keys, and a lot of like gospel as well, which was nice. And then my dad also played a lot of reggae in the house, which was also cool. So I feel like there's so many like different influences, but a lot of R&B music. Like Tamia, she's a phenomenal, like legendary Canadian R&B singer that broke out into the States, and my mom played her music from like top to bottom. So even my brother, like we all would sing her music as kids, which was like really dope. And who else? And for my dad did play a lot of like conscious reggae music, which is like also something that's really important too, that we talk about, just about like history and things like that, which is super, super important. I like music like that. So yeah, a lot of mix of different stuff now I think about it in my childhood, but a lot of reggae, gospel, R&B. And then when I got older, I dove into other like genres like country and rock and indie music. So like, I feel like my taste is very vast. I like all these different things, cinematic music. Yeah.
When did you know this was for you? Like, when did you find your voice, your vibe, and then now become a star?
I would say even after I got signed, I was still had like doubts within myself that I was like, I don't know if I'm built for this, like, is this for me? And it took me a while for me to kind of just be like, I am deserving, and I deserve to be here because of how hard I've worked and how much I genuinely care about the passion and the craft. So I feel like maybe in like 2022, I was like, okay, yeah, this is not only like obviously like a job, but it's also my life. And I also genuinely feel like this is like the lane I'm meant to be in, because I've tried to avoid it like twice and it clearly didn't work. So I feel like, when you're meant to be somewhere, that's where you're meant to be. So yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, 2022.
So taking a slight step away from music, how was it appearing in the Murdoch series for the 300th episode?
That was cool. Yeah, that was really cool. I can't lie. I didn't know it was going to take like 13, 14 hours in a one day in a trailer. Like we were like, damn, this is a long day. Like I felt like I was doing like a music video shoot. The last time I've seen stuff like that is like music video shoot, or even a photo shoot, but filming. And I didn't have that many lines. I only had like 4 or 5 lines max, but I didn't know that they had to take different angles. So here I was thinking like once I said my lines, I was good. So I started like moving off set, and they're like, oh no, Aqyila, you have to say it again. But I was thinking, I'm not even on camera. Like, but they're like, she's going to look at you, and then the voice, your mic is going to be picked up. I didn't know. There was like so much that goes into it, but I had so much fun, and it really obviously triggered another inspiration of like, whoa, I would really love to like do more stuff like that, like feature in TV shows, and you know, even if it's a guest appearance or get a acting role for a bit, I think that'd be dope. And yeah, I have some stuff on my bucket list. I would love to be in a Transformers movie. I love that movie series. That is my favorite movie series. So I geek out on that. So Michael Bay, if you're listening, you know, I
There's
would
one
love, I
more,
love
so
that one.
hopefully.
Yeah, that one's fun. And yeah, and voice acting. I think that'd be kind of cool too. If I could like voice act a character in like a Disney movie or something, I think that'd be sweet. Yeah.
So obviously, last week you were performing in the Raptors halftime show.
hmm
How was that? It looked pretty awesome.
Thank you. That was fun. I can't lie. I had such a good time. Raptors games are like super high energy.
Mm.
And even though I don't know much about basketball, like I get the whole point. Like I know what's going on, but seeing it like at that, I guess in that view, like me and my brother got to sit courtside, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
We saw one injury and we were kind of like, damn, that's kind of crazy because we heard it. It was like right in front of us. But other than that, yeah. But other than that, it was really fun to see the game just that close and to be able to just like, be a part of it. I've seen a halftime show as well and I always wondered how it worked, but to get the offer to actually do it felt really solidifying as well. That just like I'm making an impact in my city and people are seeing it and want to hear me. So I felt really great.
So what would you say your biggest challenges have been so far? Obviously, it sounds like social media went really well for you.
Yeah.
But again, there's a lot of challenges within that, a lot of challenges personally going so big instantaneously.
Yeah, I think one of my challenges, I guess, right now, I'd say is just like finding just like a good balance between like, you know, work and then like being able to just like balance like me time. I feel like the two blend all the time because I am my work, you know what I mean? So it's never really like done. So I think it's just like finding some time to like actually step away from everything for a bit would be good, but I also feel like I'm low-key a little bit of a workaholic now where I'm just like, even when I say like, guys, I'm not going to answer the emails, like if I'm CC'd in something, I'm definitely jumping in the email and be like, hey guys, like just so you know, or if something comes up in my head and I'm supposed to be off, I'm like, oh, by the way, you know, so I think it's just me having to like learn when to be like, okay, I'm just going to step away for a bit, which I'm trying to go on vacation at some point after all this. So.
Anywhere in mind for the vacation?
Yeah, I think it's Los Cabos, I think. Los Cabos. Yeah, which I think is in Mexico, which I've been to Tulum and that was a lot of fun. So I'm trying to like circle it back and just do something fun pretty much.
Do you have a standout moment so far?
Yeah, a standout moment. Let me see. Oh, well, I'm going to be performing at the Juno Awards and that's a huge Canadian, music awards show. It's kind of like the equivalent to like the Grammys in the US. Yeah. So to be nominated and to be performing is like, chef's kiss. Like I'm so excited and just like there's so much work going on behind the scenes that like people don't see that is like gonna make this, fingers crossed, be a really, really dope performance. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. I have rehearsals this week, like 4 days in a row. I think they're like 8 or 10 hour rehearsals every day. So pray for me.
It's exciting, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I was literally telling Miranda that I need to get some sleep. I need to make sure I go to sleep properly this week. I'm not playing around my sleep anymore. Yeah.
So, outside of the Juno Awards, do you have a dream venue or dream gig, theater, dream place to play?
Yeah, I would love to one day grace the stage at Coachella. I think that'd be really cool. It's massive, but I feel like anything really is possible. Like the harder you work and the more you work on your craft and your music, and the more people that you connect with, I feel like anything is honestly possible. When you see it for other huge artists right now, like even Doechii, she's doing a phenomenal job and she's been around for a minute. So, yeah, I keep inspired by looking at those who are like soaring right now. Yeah.
Each guest I have on, they leave sort of a message for the next person. So the last one said their rule to live by was be grateful and every day above ground is a good day. So what piece of advice or message would you like to pass on anonymously to the next?
Yeah. My grandma always tells me that the sky is the limit. She always tells me that you can achieve anything that you honestly put your mind to. And I'm also big on just like vision boarding, speaking life into the things that you want to achieve in your life. So I would say, yeah, just honestly hold on to your dreams and really and truly believe in yourself and put the work in. And I feel like there's nothing that you honestly can't do. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, Kyle. This was fun.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear the whole album.
I know. I'm excited for you to hear it too.